Hello and welcome back to Runner's Fortune and Ripped from the World.
Yay!
Where we last left our adventurers, you all had started a simple little card game in one of your apartments and then found yourselves sucked into a void. And from there, you were deposited into a strange, medieval-esque world, and all of you had undergone some sort of changes. One of you had sprouted some more ears. One of you turned green. One of you became a very large semi-ape hybrid, and one of you became a white fox. And while you all were very confused, you were even more confused as soldiers came up to you and started speaking to you in a language you did not understand. Until finally, one of these soldiers was able to communicate with Rowan, who then was able to communicate with the rest of the group, and you were seemingly taken into custody. You began to travel back towards their camp when some of you realized people seemed to be very frightened of the soldiers you were with. You all decided, let's skedaddle from these soldiers. So you turned and bolted, and realized that at least one of you has magical powers as you conjured up a wall of crystals behind you that aided in your escape. As you were running down the road, you were chased down by someone in a wagon who called out to you in languages that each of you was able to understand, but not all of you, to get into the wagon and that he would help you. Well, you decided you might as well try to trust him and see what goes from there. You got into the wagon and he slowed. You were overtaken by the soldiers again. Well, your rescuer leapt and began combat with them, and you all said, hey, what the heck, let's join in. And you delivered a absolutely crushing defeat to these soldiers. Some of it literally crushing, to much your own chagrin and slight mortification at having ended the lives of these soldiers, never having done anything like this before. Realizing that certainly here is not the place to be, surrounded by a dozen dead soldiers, you climbed back into the wagon with this strange elf with the blue mark on his face and began to ride off again. And that is where we begin. So you all are in this wagon, and he has said that he's going to take you to his camp with his friends. What do you all want to do?
Where are we going?
I'm going to reach into my pocket for my pocket snacks.
You do, in fact, have some pocket snacks.
What do they look like?
It's whatever those soldiers gave us. Does anybody want some?
The 3-day stale meat rolled in bread.
Yep.
Delicious.
Perfect. It's perfect.
It's not far. It's up in the forest and a straight bit through towards a clearing. That's where my friends are. My compatriots.
Who are
your friends?
Well, they're an odd assortment. There's about 30 of us. I'm not sure if there's an easy explanation to who they are, other than most of us are normal people who have been poorly treated by the current governing party, shall we say.
So are you like rebels, or are you just trying to like keep to yourselves?
I'm not quite sure that we could go so far as to say that we're rebels, but we also aren't so little as to keeping to ourselves, as potentially evidenced by the fact that I was happy to jump into the fray against 12 soldiers.
Fair enough.
But
How
I'm
do you
also
know
not
how to find
sure.
us?
So maybe like a rebel without a cause.
I'd say that we are more along the lines of having a cause, but not yet rebels. And I mean, I saw 4 people just appear and flying through the sky, and then get taken into the custody of soldiers. That was how I knew how to find you. I saw you fall.
Well, have you ever seen something like that before?
Well, yes and no. I mean, teleportation spells are perfectly common.
Falling or flying?
Well, sometimes they do place themselves in the air, and sometimes they fly, sometimes they fall. Typically, they catch themselves in some way. And he is having to say this 4 different times every time he answers one of you in each of your languages, as none of you speak the same, or actually 2 of you speak the same language, so 3 times. 2 of you speak the same language as each other.
Who?
That would be X-Rate and Jake. Or sorry, no.
River?
Sorry, yes.
Ari?
No, hold please.
Okay.
Sorry,
Please hold.
Jake and Ari. Yes, Jake and Ari.
But we can still all communicate with each other in our Earth language, right?
Yes, and as far as you know, you are only speaking your Earth language. Except that when he says things one time, it doesn't make sense, and when he says something another time, it does make sense, and
And then it doesn't.
I mean, it doesn't make sense again.
So we can tell he's switching through languages.
You can tell he is
Okay.
switching through languages.
So can you tell us what languages you're speaking? Because we're kind of really in the dark here. Obviously, I know that I know Elvish. They told me, but what are the other 2 languages?
You don't know
Eaton.
what you're speaking?
No. Weird shenanigans going on. Yeah, we have no idea what's going on.
So I can tell. Interesting. Well, yes, you are speaking Elvish. You're correct. Also my native tongue.
Okay, yeah, I mean...
Gestures towards his ears. And his rather pale features, other than the... I am also an elf. I thought, obviously.
I mean, yeah.
But, no, the 2 of you, and motions to Jake and Ari, are speaking Sylvan, of course.
Speaking what?
Sylvan, the language of the Feyland, as well as Fey-touched like yourselves.
Like who now?
And he reins in the horses and turns to actively face all of you now. Fey-touched? Unless there's some other word that is more correct that I'm supposed to be using. I'm not that old of an elf that I think I should be using the right word, but I'm also not quite young anymore. So if I'm using the wrong term and I offend, my apologies.
Who are you offending?
I'm hoping not anybody, but I'm concerned I'm offending you. And you, as he motions to Ari.
Midna face.
I don't think I've offended. Probably not.
Can't
So
remember
then-
the last time I've been offended.
You are Fey-touched, then?
Who touched me?
I'm not quite sure I understand what's going on, and
That sounds like both of us.
I see.
Let's just say we're all very confused. We have no idea what's happening. We don't even know where we are.
What language am I speaking? I'm so confused. I thought I was speaking English.
What's
You are
English?
speaking English.
And you're speaking
Meow?
primordial. The language of the elementals? And of primals, like yourself? You appear to be an earth primal. I mean, you could be fey touched as well, but seeing as you're speaking primordial, I figured you were more likely an earth primal of the forest regions.
So I'm going to turn to the other four and hopefully in English say, well, it seems like he doesn't really know any more than we know.
Yeah, I think you might be right. We're all, including him, very confused.
There is many confusions. That is at least where I'm vibing is just he doesn't seem to know like that we are from somewhere else. Whereas the soldiers, I guess I got the impression that they kind of knew to expect us, which in and of itself is kind of suspicious. But the fact that this person does not know this information that is just being helpful, theoretically is a little less suspicious, right?
I would hope so, but
And
Last
he's
guys gave
looking
me
between
meat
you all as
snacks.
you're speaking with a very confused look on his face, like he truly does not understand what you all are saying.
oh good, if we focus on speaking English, we speak English.
The last guy, he gave us meat snacks. This guy hasn't given us any snacks. I'm just gonna point that out.
You
I
could
mean,
you asked the other people for snacks. So ask him for snacks and see if he gives you snacks.
It's true. It's true. What kind of snacks do we want, though?
Just
I
ask
mean-
for snacks.
Yeah, some of
What
it depends
offer?
on what he's got.
Do you think he has Cheez-Its?
I mean,
Ask him if
the
you got some
outside, I
Cheez-Its.
think Cheez-Its probably don't exist in this world, but maybe we could invent them.
I
Become
mean,
rich.
they are pretty much just.
Cheese
Cook-
cracker.
I mean, they're pretty much just cooked cheese. You can make them by just taking cheese and putting it on the stove and cooking it until it's.
Just accidentally do it at work all the time.
We do it intentionally.
Oh yeah, no, we just had cheese spill onto the stove top or the flat top and left too long. And then you eat it afterwards and it tastes exactly like Cheez-Its.
So ask
Kitchen
if he has any
snacks.
cooked cheese. Oh my lord. Okay,
Oh,
Ori.
All right, elf guy.
We do
We
not.
gotta eat over here, huh?
Okay, Ori.
To eat, I've got a few things. I mean, of course you must be hungry. I mean, I can't imagine. I mean, I can imagine. I've done it, but I certainly the energy expense to teleport four of you through the air, obviously a very long ways, and no, certainly I have some food. Please, and he comes back and he shifts around a couple boxes and pops the lid on one of the crates, and you are hit with an aroma of smoked meats and fruits and berries and of cheeses. Please, what I have is here to share. I have requested some maybe left that I may have a partially successful journey of being able to bring some more food to those that rely on me. But please, eat your fill.
Thank you very much. I take some meat and start to nibble on some meat.
I will take a little snack too after smelling it. Sniff, sniff. Smells okay.
I take some fruits.
I'll
Yeah,
also
or like
take
a
some
fruit. Just eat a fruit.
So, may I ask, where did you all teleport from?
I mean, if we could tell you, you probably won't know.
I'm fairly well traveled, I must say.
I still don't think you'll know, but okay.
Where did we teleport from?
Did anyone else put anything in their backstory about where we're originally from?
I kind of did.
Yeah.
Okay, what did Jake say?
I believe I called it Neo New York.
You did.
I think my character is from Denver.
You are.
I didn't put anything, so I don't know.
Are we from New York?
So, the New Yorks or Colorado? We'll take a vote.
I mean,
New Yorks? Colorado.
Colorado.
All right, Colorado it is.
all right. Somewhere in Colorado. Doesn't really matter where right now, I don't think.
I mean,
Unless-
we could even theoretically each be from different towns, like Denver area is kind of a...
Yeah, it's a big mecca, so people could come here from anywhere. Like, I could be working in a bar or whatever that's somewhere near, like, a concert center that y'all went to a concert for or something. And that's how we met, theoretically. But I think Denver area is probably a good option.
All right.
We'll just say we are from Denver,
Denver.
the Denver metro area.
Denver.
Are you aware of this location, sir?
Is that in? No. That's Darabon.
It's from a planet called Earth,
Earth.
country called the United States of America,
Okay,
and a territory, I guess,
you got me.
called Colorado.
I am not familiar with those.
The reunited States of America.
Well done. You've trumped my geography knowledge. That is kudos.
Where are we now?
You are, well, you're in the kingdom of Exeg.
Excuse me, what?
Exeg?
Exeg?
S-E.
Essay, as in like you
Sorry,
read
E.
an essay.
C-C.
S-E. Okay.
E-C-S-E?
Never
Exeg?
heard of it.
XA.
XA.
Yes.
Apparently, we have ended up somewhere we are unfamiliar with.
What
I'm
year
assuming
is
this
it?
takes some level of talent.
It's not super
Or-
uncommon for me.
A big blunder. Let's go with talent because that sounds better. We are very talented.
I also don't want to be an asshole. I don't think we've asked your name yet. I don't think we've had any kind of introductions.
That is a good point.
You
I apologize for our rudeness, sir.
I apologize for mine as well.
I mean, we were all kind of in a crazy situation there for a hot minute, so.
It was very, very quick. I absolutely must agree. No, my name is Sandrano. I'm an elf. S-A-N.
I know how to spell it.
I am Ari, and apparently I am fate touched.
Yes, a white fox, by the look of it.
Yes, as my tail and ears suggest. Yes, exactly.
Yes. Okay.
I'm Marudi. And I'm Fey touched.
What did you say your name is?
What? Marudi?
What?
Is that not my name, y'all? What?
I thought you were Jake.
Whoa, Jake!
You want to? Maybe
I don't
maybe
know why, but
decided
I just feel like,
Maruti. We can acknowledge that and accept that. Is
Yeah, if that's
yeah,
what
I
you
think my
want to go
name is
by.
just Maruti.
okay. Sounds
Okay,
good.
Weird.
how do you spell that?
Maruti.
Okay, well, we can definitely, if that's who you are, then that's who you are. I am Rowan, by the way.
A pleasure to both of you.
My name is River.
River, a pleasure. So, in this land of Denver, on the planet of Earth, you've never heard of Exe.
They not.
Not
Okay.
once, not never.
Could you tell a little bit about this place?
Well, I can tell you many things about it. Are you then on the western side? Are you near Tarukia?
Don't recognize that.
Unfamiliar.
No.
Like over by the Pizza Hut?
Pizza hut of pizza? What?
Oh, never mind. Doesn't sound like it.
Okay. Are you familiar at all with Chrysanthia?
Like chrysanthemums?
Sorry, no.
Doesn't sound familiar.
Fascinating.
What year is it?
Why, it's 936 of the Third Age.
You said what now?
936 of what we recognize as the Third Age. The world has been raised twice. Raised to the ground 2 times. By an
What?
unknown city, and
How does
I have
this
a very
line up
strong
with the
feeling
War
we
of
should
God?
try to get home.
This is before that, isn't it?
Do you mean like World War One and World War Two, and maybe we transport into the future? Like it's like after World War Three?
no, there certainly has not been a third time of raising the world.
I have a feeling we should be trying to get home because I think that's probably going to happen.
There's no place like home. Does anyone have ruby slippers?
As
No,
you
I'm
all
wearing
here.
boots.
No, nobody is wearing any red sleeve shoes.
Yeah, these look like boots.
These boots were made for walking.
Well, then might I humbly say, welcome to the land of Chrysanthia.
Thank you. Your reception has been much kinder than the other reception that we received.
I am
Yeah, there is
I'm
that.
pleased.
Your meats are much finer.
I'm thrilled that my smoked meats beat out the soldier rations.
Yeah, munches on another piece of meat.
Your smoked meats beat their meats so hard we couldn't even talk about it, you know?
Should slap them in the face with your meats and tell them that their meats are terrible.
I don't know, that sword is quite the weapon compared to a log of smoked meat.
I mean, but
Yes.
wouldn't it be
Yes, it
so
is.
much more humiliating to be slapped in the face with a giant thing of meat?
That it would.
I cannot say that I've ever tried to slap anybody with a slab of meat or been slapped with a slab of meat myself, but I shall take your word for it.
I think
It
it's
used to happen in the back of the shop all the time.
Well,
I'm sure y'all did it for fun too. It was like who can smack the other the hardest and not fall over.
That's right.
didn't do any of that in the bar, but you know, we didn't really have giant slabs of meat, so
as much as I can welcome you to the land of Chrysanthia, my condolences that you have landed in the kingdom of Exe.
Why?
Well, things aren't pretty right now.
I mean, I
Great
guess.
show.
Well, a few years ago, the ruling family was ousted. The prince murdered. We believe that the rest of his family is in captivity, and it's been taken over in a military coup. If we must be the most simple as we can, and things are less pleasant than they were a handful of years ago.
Man, that's depressing.
Well, do you have any idea how we might go about getting home?
Well, I would say in normal situations, simply teleport out the way you teleported in. But seeing as all these blank stares you're giving me, I take it you did not teleport yourselves.
Mm.
Okay?
I am afraid not.
Can you contact the witch or wizard or warlock or sorcerer or etc. that teleported you?
We don't know who teleported us. It just kind of happened. Like, we were chilling at home at one of our places, and it just kind of happened.
Oh. Interesting. Well, I would certainly love to assist you in getting back home. I have never heard of this Earth place you speak of, and as much as I loathe to admit it, if I have not heard of this place, it's a far shot that any of my compatriots would have.
I probably got about 12 hours till my next shift at Pizza Planet. I need to get back there so I don't lose my job for the 5th time.
I mean, yes, that is a fair point. We all have places we need to be so that we don't get in trouble, if you will. So finding a way home would be a good idea right now, I think. We would appreciate any help that we could receive.
What about my cat?
Your cat. You have a friend that's a cat folk.
Well, I have a cat at home.
Cat.
A pet cat?
Pet cat. And I don't have a roommate, so I'm very concerned about her.
Yeah, that's concerning. You don't want to leave pets home alone.
Well,
Plants need to be watered or they might die.
And I can't find my cell phone, so I can't text my friends to ask them. I'm very worried.
And the pizza I left out was already 6 days old.
Ew, I did not need to know that.
Was it growing anything yet?
Yeah, just some of those mushrooms we talked about.
Oh, is that where they came from?
Well, I suggest a good night's sleep. And maybe when we wake up in the morning, this will all have been a shared hallucination. What is it called? Like a fa de deux, I think is what they're called.
Is that what it's called?
Something like that.
To do?
I can
Something to do.
certainly offer you a place to lay your head for tonight.
We would be much obliged.
Yeah. The feeling we don't want to just kind of be out in the open right now.
Not with what you said about how the state of things are in this country, as well as the other welcome that we received.
Well,
Do we have
shall
to worry
we-
about that? All those dead bodies?
Yeah, can they be traced back to us? I guess we should be a little concerned.
I didn't
Well-
touch anything. There's no fingerprints.
through part of the path we'll be taking, I'm quite certain the wagon wheels will get lost through the thicket and brambles. So we should be safe from non-magical trackings, and honestly, they will likely just chalk it up to the locals causing disturbances again.
Even with the captain being killed?
Only a captain.
I guess that's fair. I'm sorry, I don't know anything about the military. I don't know how low captains are on the
Or
totem.
how this military stacks up against other military.
That too.
They might have different terminology. You'll never know.
We fared all right against them.
Yes, you all held your own quite well. You're not trained soldiers?
Nope. Don't know how we knew how to do that.
It was magic.
Yeah, it kind of was.
Well, for a few of you, it certainly was.
I have never swung a sword in my life.
I would never have guessed.
Thank you.
Now, a question. As this repeating everything 3 times is rather exhausting.
That's fair.
Might you permit me to use a spell of my own on you that we may all, or you may all understand me in a single language?
I would like to check to see if he's telling the truth, I suppose.
I mean,
Insight check.
yeah. Do you want to harm us with this spell?
Go ahead, roll an insight check.
I mean, I ask him and then I'll roll an insight check on what he says.
No, I would certainly desire no harm to come to you with this.
I rolled a 15.
You do not have any reason to disbelieve him at this point.
I am okay with this. If it makes
Yeah,
things
fine.
easier for everybody.
Yeah.
All right. He places his hands on either side of your heads, and he'll begin with Rowan,
Okay.
and says a few words in a language that you don't understand. And then he'll move on to River and do the same thing. But Rowan, this time, you understand that he says, "May the cotton be pulled from your ears. May the sponge be taken from your tongue. And may you begin to understand and be heard." And then I'll move to Maruti and do the same thing, and at which point, Rowan and River, you both understand him. And then he moves to Ari, and now the 3 of you understand.
Cool.
How did
Do
you
you all
that?
understand me now?
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
you all do.
Yeah, it would seem so.
Wow.
Okay.
Is
This is
this only
much more
something we
efficient.
can do with you, or?
No, you now understand the common tongue.
Oh, cool. So we can add that to our languages now?
Yes, you may all now add common to your languages.
Good. Yay, we can speak the people language. Well, thank you for doing that.
It was at least as much for me as it was for you.
So
If
mine
I
only,
I guess that's
say.
fair.
hold up
That's
really quick. Mine only has it has nothing in languages. Should I add the other one as well?
Yes. You may each all now add the language that he told you spoke. So
Okay, what was it?
Sylvan for Maruti and Ari.
How do you
So
spell
bad.
that?
Sylvan. Primordial for river, and then Elven for
He's already in there. And then, of course, common.
yes, and now common as well.
She's making it very hard.
I'm sure she is. She looks very cozy.
Oh, she's snoring.
She's snoring. Oh, I mean, I've seen you playing with her tail.
It's really
That
hard.
was a Crash too.
Yeah, Minna's over here sleeping too.
Oh.
Aw. Crash puppy time.
Yeah. Makes it a little tricky, but I'll manage.
Been there. Been a while, but I've been there.
Okay. Thank you for answering that question. I just wasn't sure if there was supposed to be anything there or not. So it was just common and whatever when you told us now.
Yes,
Okay.
that is correct.
Cool. Well, I guess, I mean, the wagon is still stopped, right?
Yes, it is.
I guess probably not the worst idea to keep moving.
Yeah,
Yes.
let's get to your companion so that we can, one, rest and hopefully wake up from this nightmare. But also, if that's not the case, then figure out a plan and see if we can go from there.
Saddle up.
All right. He turns around and begins driving the wagon again. And you make your way. It becomes very bumpy as you enter the forest, as he's very obviously not following any kind of path through here and is weaving throughout the trees. And there's many roots and close bumps against the trees and bushes as you go by. After about half an hour, he slows and pulls it up to a stop and says, well, for the last little bit, we'll go on foot.
Okay.
Best to leave the wagon a slight distance.
I
from the
think
camp.
Can we help you carry anything?
Well, I certainly would not complain at the assistance.
well, yeah.
Least we can do, seeing as you just saved our butts.
Yeah.
Put the food chest under one arm.
And with
You
these,
with the food there.
What else was back there?
Maybe this
there's-
giant snake that I conjured can help too.
I mean, it's probably gone by now. How long do the summons last, I guess?
well, what is half of your? Yes, half of your casting skill minimum or potency skill.
2 hours.
All right, yeah, no, it's still around unless you desire to desummon it.
Cool.
They just pile stuff up. I don't know how can snakes, because like the way they move, I feel like things would fall. It, like wrap its tail around something and drag it.
I mean, maybe it can hold it in its mouth.
Yeah, and it does have 100-pound carry weight, so
It'll find a way.
you're able to load it up with a couple of crates.
Yeah.
Just swallows it and then it'll vomit it back out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll
That
grab
little
stuff.
snake mucus.
So between all of you, without any difficulty, you're able to collect all of the items from the wagon. And you carry it for just a couple of minutes until you reach a clearing where you see a scattering of tents and lean-tos and shelters built with tree branches and sticks. And
What do we hear?
you hear some people. You hear some conversations scattered. You see a few beings moving around the camp. Certainly in the afternoon, so nobody's doing anything in particular of the about 10 to 15 people that are here right now.
Cool.
But on sight of you all, a few of them come over and offer, in a language you now understand, to take the crates from you and to carry them away.
Crates.
I
I
mean,
will
sure,
willingly take them.
because we don't know where they're going. So if they're offering,
Yeah. Please
And
take it.
they grab them from you and take them off. Now, I fully understand the energy expense that even if you must be exhausted. Do you wish to rest now or to wait until nightfall? I can set you up in a couple of tents if you desire.
I mean, I don't think I need to settle down right away. How do you all feel?
I wouldn't mind staying awake for a bit and just kind of vibing, I guess.
Sounds good. You don't need to head
Getting
off to
a
bed
feel.
right away.
All that we now find ourselves with.
All right. Well, food, a dinner shall be served shall be prepared in a few hours. Please be welcome to join us at that point, or at any point before then. I shall confer with a few of the others, let them know why you're here, that you're here. I will be delicate with your situation, and
Yeah, probably not the best for everyone to know exactly what's going on.
I will
We
simply
appreciate
mention
this
that you are
welcome.
fugitives from the military, which, well, I mean, certainly as much as it is unlikely that they have your faces or likenesses, it's unlikely that they send to thought transmission. Possible, but unlikely.
Yeah.
So you
Thought
all,
transmission.
yes,
I see.
the
Facts.
capability to send thoughts from one being to another,
Interesting.
sometimes called telepathy, but much further distance.
Interesting.
In the Twilight Zone.
Yes,
I guess I can kind of do that, but I can only do that with the dead.
What?
They're really, real life.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, we lost
Imagine.
Nate.
Yeah.
Can you still hear him?
Yes.
Yeah, there we go.
For whatever reason, my camera every once in a
Oh, there.
while
Freezing.
changes to the Vive and then changes back to
Jeez.
my normal camera.
That's weird and glitchy.
That's obnoxious. Hi, Applejack.
I just see the tail there.
Yeah, a quick little aw, happy puppy.
That's hysterical. It's going so fast you can barely see it.
But
Yeah.
yes, it's unlikely that they're actively searching for you right now. But I will simply mention that you are fugitives from the military, and that will be far more than enough for them to accept you as being here.
Whew, it's gonna be pretty bad then.
Of course, are welcome to stay if you wish, or move on at your own discretion. No one here will
Yeah.
keep you.
We appreciate it. We will discuss amongst ourselves and let you know.
Yeah, thanks for the hospitality.
Of course, if you have any questions, I'll certainly be around.
Thank you.
Please, I hope to see you by dinner. And he bows, and as he bows, you do notice it is a very proper and courteous bow. And while you all have never specifically dealt with bows, you've watched TV, you've seen
Anime.
likely, as well as video games, and you've seen as people address royalty, like over in England, and
Game of Thrones.
quite.
So that kind of, yeah.
And his bow is very polite and proper.
Interesting. Okay.
He then turns and politely takes his leave. Should you desire, before he goes, should you desire any rest before, well, most of the tents are communal, so any tent that you come across that does not have anybody sleeping in it at that point, please feel free to use.
Good to
some
know.
of the larger tents can hold a few beings, a few of you, and we have a few. And he motions to 4 large, about 20-foot tall tents. Can hold quite a number. If you find yourself in those, don't be surprised if somebody else may join you at some point in the evening. But
Okay.
please.
Are you planning on setting up like a tent for us for the night, or should we just plan on finding somewhere?
I wish that we had the additional supplies for either 4 more single tents or another communal, but we don't at the moment. And I can say that we certainly have more than 4 beds available. We've set up all that we've been able to, and not everybody here chooses to sleep in tents. Some prefer to just sleep up in the trees or on the ground.
I
So
have a feeling I would fall.
there's plenty of space. You needn't worry about taking the space from somebody else.
Okay.
I would love to set you up with tents individually. If you're new to the area, tomorrow or later today if you desire, but tomorrow it may be should you decide to stay in the area or even in the country or even within Chrysanthia itself, it may be worthwhile to register at a guild. As new registrars, they'll certainly provide you with some basic gear, of which you do seem to be slightly lacking, including tents and bedrolls and the like. So it's unlikely to hurt, and guild registry is shared throughout the entire land of Chrysanthia. So
Okay.
you're not beholden to anything. But that can wait for the morning. Please, I will be around. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
He
you.
bows again and then takes his leave. What do you all want to do right now?
I want to look through my pack and see what I even have.
Okay.
I have to go to the restroom real quick. Do you want to take like a pause, or should I just go?
Go ahead and just go.
Okay, I will be right back then. Hopefully.
That'll move the puppy for you.
You should be good.
Don't worry again.
So, in your pack, you have all the gear that is currently listed in your inventory.
Oh, looks like I have my own. I do have a bedroll and a tent.
You do.
I do.
Well, I know we had talked about like guilds before, and we added the guild stuff to our
Yes.
inventory, so
Yes, you did.
we just magically got it.
Yes.
Magic.
Just like your clothes and forms,
Okay,
you
fair.
do each have a pack, and it does contain the things from your guild.
Well, at least that means that we have bedrolls, right? If we wanted to, we could put up our own individual tents and kind of see how we're feeling later tonight and how we feel about joining these people in a big tent. It might be safer that way in case someone was looking for us. But we can kind of see how we're feeling later in the evening before deciding.
Sounds good. Looks like I have a tent as well.
You should each have a tent as part of the basic guild equipment.
Mine doesn't say tent. Oh no, small tent. Yes, never mind. Yes, I have a tent.
So we have what's currently in our packs,
Yes, you do.
even though they came from guilds.
That's correct.
Ooh, fancy.
Magic.
What is this?
Magic spells.
Yeah. Hopefully that's still okay.
Yes, plenty. So, what would you all like to do over the next couple of hours before dinner?
I guess I'm probably gonna go kind of mingle a little bit and just kind of get a vibe for the people of this encampment that we've joined, and just see if like generally positive vibes. Are they meeting us with open arms, or are they suspicious of us? Like kind of getting some vibes.
Yeah. So go ahead and make an insight check for me and a perception check.
Remind me how to do such.
Take a 20-sided dice, D20, roll it, and add the insight, and then roll it again and add your perception skills to them.
Okay. All right. See if I can do this around a dog.
She looks very happy, at least.
Indeed. Okay, so insight was an 8.
Okay.
Said perception. Oh no. Oh no. Apparently I chose poorly. For I'm sorry, it was insight and what was the perception?
Yes.
So an 8 and a 6, I suppose.
So as you're going around, the people do seem to be slightly cautious of a newcomer, but they also seem very willing to accept you, and they certainly don't shy away from you as you come by. They acknowledge that you're there and then continue with their conversations. And the general vibe that you get from these people is that these are a people who have been ousted from their homes, and from some of them from their families. As you go around, you don't notice. You notice 4 children in the encampment out of the 15 or so people that are there. Only 4 of them are children. There is a wide smattering of males and females, and then some that you're just really not sure about. Like that one that seems to be made completely of clouds and lightning. Not really sure about that one, but
Interesting.
they are quite the myriad group.
Okay.
And the kind of general consensus that you get is that they're just people, just beings.
Okay. I would, I don't know, find the others and just kind of convey to them, I suppose. Just seems like everything is on the up and up. It seems like from the general gist that I got mingling with people that they are who they say they are.
Okay.
What are the rest of you doing?
I'm gonna play with my weapons.
Okay.
I've never had weapons before. I want to figure out, like, how well do I know how to use these? Like, can I move fluidly with these items since I've never touched these before?
As you pull it out, it feels comfortable and right in your hands. And you strike a pose that you probably would have found silly in your other life, but feels natural here. And you move through forms and stances that you would not have thought you knew, but there you are.
Cool.
Good idea. Practice is smart.
River and Maruti, what are the 2 of you doing? Or each of you?
I'm gonna see if I can. I want to like try and talk to my snake. Hi, how are you here?
The snake stares at you, blinking.
Oh, it seems like it knows primal
It does.
but I'm speaking.
Primordial.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yes.
I'm gonna reach out slowly and just like with my hand open, let it sniff me.
And it touches its nose to the palm of your hand.
Having a toothless moment.
Oh. I just like gently like rub its nose.
It blinks slowly.
We'll just pet it.
It relaxes downwards and
Aw,
nestles its head against the ground.
happy
As you
noodle.
reach for your
Giant noodle.
Happy giant danger noodle.
And I'll just like go lay against its side and like pet it for a while and hang out with it.
All right. Maruti?
I'm gonna just go like look at everyone in the camp. Like, what do they look like?
So there's a vast assembly of different beings here. You see a few that look human, a few that look to be elves, one that looks to be made of entirely clouds and lightning. Not really sure about that one. There's one that definitely looks like a small dragon. And a couple that you would say are dwarves. And then a couple other that you just couldn't place. One's got scales, but they also have what seems to be a fox's tail. One other is kind of demon-like with horns. One's even got
Are they like doing anything? Or are they like being sketchy at all? Like what's the vibe?
Yeah, so there's a couple of conversations going on, and the general vibe that you get is that these are people working to survive. There are people that have been ousted. There's 4 children out of the 15 or so people that are here. And,
Are the children attached to like adults, or do they seem like orphans?
They do not seem to be attached to adults at the moment, but they are running around and playing. So it would be unclear whether there's a parental figure nearby or if they're just existing.
Okay.
All right. I gotta go up to Cloud Guy.
All right.
And I want to ask him, I want to be like, what are you?
Oh, jeez.
Now, that could be quite rude to say. I am a storm primal.
Wow.
So I just ask you, what are you?
I'm a Fey touched. I
Well, yes,
think.
I can observe that.
You're really cool looking, you know that? I'm impressed.
Oh, I'm cool looking, am I? Well then. My thanks to you, Fey touched. I may have come across a little harsh a moment ago.
Hey, don't even worry about it.
Cool, am I?
You are cool, man. You're cool.
So, is that a word that they understand here, or is that one of those like lost in translation things?
Well, he seems to at least be pleased with whatever it translates as.
Okay.
It's one cool cloud.
Why, thank you. It's Quite generous of you. You are cool too, if I must say.
Ooh, thank you, thank you. And then I'm gonna just continue my people
Better
watching.
that cool isn't some kind of euphemism here. Uh-oh, you just made a new friend.
All right. So, as you all hang around and observe and cuddle with your snake for the little bit left that it's time is left, time passes and you arrive at dinner, and a number of more people have joined the camp at this point. Throughout the afternoon, beings are coming back, some with crates of their own, some carrying animals, some carrying baskets of fruit or plants. And they all seem to end up gathering near a large fire pit around the middle of camp. Do you all join them?
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna
Yes.
turn to everybody else and just ask, what do you all want to do? Should we join them? Does everybody feel comfortable doing that?
Yeah, I think that's fine. I mean, I think I prefer if we stayed close together at least a little bit, but
Yeah.
I'm not worried about joining the group.
Okay. Just wanted to feel things out before diving head in. Make sure everybody's feeling comfortable with this.
Do
That's
you
fair.
feel okay with it?
This is very strange, so checking in and communication are key.
Yeah,
Do
especially in
you
this.
feel okay with it, Ari?
I am definitely fine with it. The feeling I got from the group was pretty positive, so I think we should be okay. And who doesn't like free food?
Yeah.
That's right.
It'll be interesting to see what kind of food they have. Maybe we will find new favorites. Find the
I have a feeling
positive.
they won't have pizza, but
Find the positive in the situation. Maybe we can learn a new recipe.
that would be cool.
All right. So you all arrive, and now appears to be assembled approximately 50 people. It's quite the group, and
Did any more children join?
no, still just the 4. And you can see the fire pit is going with a few different animals on it, and it also looks like they've got some vegetables roasting. They're mashing some fruits.
Are these all things we recognize, or is it like a weird animal that we've never seen before?
Well,
And weird.
that one looks kind of like a deer. Those 6 look sort of like rabbits. Those 2, you have no idea what those might be, but they're large and furry. That's definitely a bear. It's a mix. You know, things look similar, but not quite what you may have been expecting.
Okay, that's fair.
The fruits also look, that one looks like those over there look like they could be strawberries, and those, they look kind of like they might be huckleberries, but you're not entirely sure. But they seem familiar, but different.
Do we see any potatoes?
You do not see any potatoes.
The horror! The horror!
And theoretically, none of this should be poisonous to any of our species, since like this camp group, everybody is kind of different types of.
That would be a safe assumption.
Okay. Okay, I'm making that assumption, and I am going to kind of pick and choose a variety of weird new things along with things that I semi-recognize.
Okay.
I'm gonna try something
follow
new.
other people and kind of grab stuff that looks good, I guess. After some other people did so first.
And we'll try this weird spiky fruit because I want to know about it. But I'm also going to get some strawberries, just in case.
So after you have all grabbed some food, and you do know that it is after everybody has grabbed food, you see Sandrano step forward and grab a little bit for himself. And then he raises a hand into the air, and there's an audible but soft cracking noise that emanates from it, and people generally turn towards him. Still eating, but obviously he's garnered some sort of attention from them.
What's going on over here?
Welcome everybody again, and please continue to enjoy eating. I simply wanted to address everybody this evening, and I was able to speak to many of you throughout the day, but some of you who have been out foraging, collecting, raiding, as I was, may not have been able to get the message yet. But please, I would like to offer welcome to Ari, Maruti, River, and Rowan, who have joined us for today and this evening. They were taken prisoner by the soldiers of the area, and they fought bravely and well in order to free themselves from the group. And I have extended our hospitality, what we have, to them for as long as they desire. We shall see.
For which we are very thankful.
And so I was able to reach a number of you, but I wanted to make sure that everybody, please welcome them. They have my full vouching and support to be here.
People.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. Twin power, awkward wave.
And well, we have defeated an entire. We defeated a squad today, so that's 15 less or so that we needn't worry about chasing us anymore. So everybody, please eat your fill. Let us celebrate and enjoy. Thank you all. And he will sit down, and everybody just kind of returns to their eating. You get a couple of glances and a couple of nods from people in the crowd, acknowledging your presence, and then returning to their food.
I kind of make eye contact with anybody who's looking our way and just, making that connection of like, I see that you are acknowledging us and thank you for your hospitality type of nod. Make friends.
I'm gonna try some food, and I want to try whatever beverages they have.
They just have water.
Okay, they don't have any like mashed fruit or smoothies or anything.
They have some mashed fruit, but it looks like it went with the meat as sauces more than anything else.
Never mind. Do I have knowledge on how to make alcohol?
You do. You are aware of fermentation processes.
I'm gonna try different fruits and stuff and see what might be good for that, because I feel like I can offer that to these people. They might be missing it. I don't know what kind of alcohol is in this place.
I mean, mead is super easy. Honey, water, let it sit.
Yeah.
Drink it. Get drunk.
I feel like wine is kind of the same.
Yep.
Beer is a little complicated.
I think wine gets tricky in just the type that you want to make, because some wines require that you leave the stems and the skin, whereas others require that you remove them.
Well, I'm happy to experiment. Especially since none of this fruit technically looks familiar.
I think
It
white
looks
wine is
civil.
typically harder to make. Whereas red wine is just like, just throw it in a bucket and squish it with your toes.
That's fair. Ferment for however long.
All right, so you all get to eat. And you do notice some people going up for seconds, so if any of you desired to procure more food, you are, certainly more than welcome to. And the evening progresses, the fire dies down, and people begin separating. What do you all do?
It's cloudy there.
Should we join them in the big tent? Do you think it would be safer, everyone? Or should we find our own little corner of the camp and set up some bedrolls outside? I mean, we each have our own tent, but...
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it'll be specifically safer to be inside the tent, like with a bunch of other people, especially since we don't really know them.
I prefer to sleep outside in my own tent.
Okay.
I think we should keep our tents close to each other, just in case, like, if one of us gets attacked, we can call out, but I think, not that I necessarily want to, like, separate us from the group, because I think that might be a bad idea, but I think we should be kind of to ourselves a little bit.
Okay. Fair. I feel the same way.
Yeah.
I think that would be how we would all be most comfortable tonight. So let's go find a little corner and set up tents, set up camp.
Tents up.
All right. So you all set up your tents, and do you all begin to settle in for the evening?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. After you all have begun to settle in, a song begins to sound from over near where the fire was. It's in a language that none of you recognize, but it's a male singing, and it's a beautiful, haunting, seemingly lamenting song that just echoes out above the tents.
I'm gonna go walk toward the music.
I would probably move towards it as well, seeing as music is kind of a thing that I enjoy. Go explore and see where it's coming from, who it's... That, and I'm sure the first time sleeping with a tail is a little tricky, so I probably have a hard time falling asleep.
You're probably not wrong.
All
I
right.
will
So,
also go investigate.
Yeah.
okay. So all of you head on over, back over to the fire pit, which is burned down to its embers now, and it is definitely becoming night at this point. The sun has set, and the stars are out. And as you're glancing as you walk, this is more stars than any of you have ever seen.
Yep,
Out
light
before.
pollution. It's pretty strong here in Denver.
Yep. As you arrive back at the fire pit, you see the 4 children sitting, laying around the fire, and you see Sandrano and 2 other elves walking around them, tucking them in as Sandrano sings this song.
Boy Sandrano can sing.
It seems so. None of the others are singing with him.
No, just him. They seem to be following him. Just a couple steps behind and on either side. And as they walk, and as you're watching, you notice Sandrano does not have his sword, his big sword, on him. But the other two, one of them has a bow on his back, and you can see two swords on his waist, and the other has a magical staff. You assume magical. It looks like you would expect a magical staff to look, a piece of wood with a little orb on the end.
Fair enough.
Straps to his back.
How are they acting towards him? Like, can I kind of get a feeling on, are they like differential? Do they seem like buddies? Do they hate him?
Gonna need a vibe check.
A vibe check. Is that what an insight check is now going to be called?
I kind of like that one. I may end up changing that. Yes, go ahead and make an insight check, which may end up becoming a vibe check before too long.
Well, that wasn't very useful. 4.
4 total?
Yeah.
Okay. They're following him. That's about all you got.
Apparently my barkeeper training is not coming in very handy here with elves.
I mean, hey, that must be pretty stoic peeps.
I guess.
I probably just kind of watch, but also kind of like sway along. It looks like they're putting them to sleep. If they were trying to entertain them, I would probably go dance for everybody and try to help entertain the kids, but since they're putting them to sleep, I have a feeling that would probably not help, so I'm just going to kind of watch and...
Yeah, that's fair.
And then Sandrano kneels before the 4 children and finishes his song for another minute, and then finishes, bows to each of them, and then you can see his lips moving. He's obviously muttering something.
Anybody read lips?
Nope.
And what is everybody's knowledge or knowledge spell work?
0.
My
0.
spell work is 5.
You're putting my arm to sleep. She's not as
3.
late as she used to be.
What was that, Maruti?
3.
Okay, so River and Maruti, you two can go ahead and make a knowledge spell work check.
17.
Nice.
I add that 3.
Yes.
22.
Okay.
Nice.
Both of you see as a barely shimmering canopy forms above the children.
I sense like what that is, what it's about, or
You can. It appears to be a magical shelter. It appears to be a slight dome that you believe would protect them from the elements or bugs or any small little things like that. Would not prohibit anybody from walking through it either direction. Kind of this magical net, fine net over them.
I see.
I wish I had such.
They're worth $1 million.
Yeah.
And Sandrano will stand, seemingly take no notice of you, and walk to the other side of the fire and just sit, staring into the embers.
There's a part of me that wants to go sit and be like, dude, you okay?
While the two other beings just still stand behind him.
Hmm.
Does he look sad face?
Vibe check.
A little better. I mean, it's a lot better. 15.
Okay. He seems forlorn and lost in thought. Not necessarily sad face, but
That's fair.
Can y'all hear her snoring?
No.
It's awfully loud.
Apparently not quite loud enough.
Apparently not.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, puppy hers are cute. I'm gonna go just sit next, like kind of close, not too close, but just kind of near, and just kind of like be there.
okay.
I guess
Warm
if
myself.
once already does that, I'll do it as well.
I'll go as well. Although I want to ask him, I want to say, who are they to you that you look after them so?
I believe that all children need to be watched and cared for. I believe that all beings should be, but the children most of all. Just because children are shown to be resilient never should mean that we should rely upon this or test it.
Yeah, they maintain their resilience when we allow them to not have to be.
Wise words.
What happened to these children? Where are their parents?
I wish I could say for certain. Some of them may be dead. Some of them may still be living at home in fear. All I can say for certain is none of their parents are here. So I shall watch over them. As I watch over them all, but them especially.
It is a very kind thing for you to do.
You're a good elf.
I thank you for your words. I will strive to live by those every day. Thank you.
How did you come across these children?
Well, her gestures over to one who's mostly fur covered with little brown ears. Her I found outside of one of the towns being chased by soldiers. She still doesn't speak. I couldn't say more.
Poor kid.
Him, he was gestures to the next one. You're not sure, elf, human, or some other variant at the moment, and too small and covered in a blanket to tell. He was in a stockade. Stole a loaf of bread. He was less than half that weight when I brought him in. Of course he stole a loaf of bread. The others I didn't bring in myself, but their stories are similar. The current regime is steadfast, resolute and unforgiving when it comes to the law.
Chaotic evil. Or, sorry, lawful.
All right.
Sounds terrible.
Yeah.
Some of us believe so, but obviously there were enough that felt the other way. Otherwise, things may be different. There obviously were shortcomings from the royal family. Otherwise, this coup never would have happened.
Yeah, fair.
I spent too long away to know what exactly life was like in the years prior to the new regime.
I want to ask questions, but he looks kind of sad, so I'm gonna leave him alone. I'm just gonna like pat him on the back. We're here to talk if you need some friends.
My thanks.
It can be hard to take support when you need it, but it will help you in the long run.
I thought there might be a good reason for picking you all up.
No, just because we're cute.
Well, of course. My hopes that you all do stay. Very few of us are warriors. Most are farmers, hunters, tradesmen, merchants. At a base level, the four of you add great skill to helping me defend everybody here, and at other levels, you all have not suffered the way these people have suffered, and that is a good thing. Do not mistake my words. I'm pleased. I am ashamed that I have not suffered as these people have suffered.
I think we all suffer in different ways. While our world may not have the same kind of suffering that yours does, we still have our own problems, things that aren't being taken care of, and things that should be looked after that we have to deal with because the people above us are ignoring these issues. I think everywhere has some kinds of issues that are similar to that. We may not have gone to the point where these people are, but
And your words are very true. I by no means intended to insinuate that you have not had your hardships, but as you look at the people, the children, they are beaten, and you all have a life to you that I share, that can help bring hope to some of these people. Not to say you have not had your shares of suffering, but the light that you have
hasn't been beat out of us yet.
Yes.
I understand.
Not to say that you all need to stay. If moving on is the right thing for you, then I I wish you the best, and I'll even send you with a crate of food. But
Well, what's the work look like? Like, what do we need here? Or this new regime, is the old regime worth anything still, or are you looking to completely take that out?
I shall let the people decide. That will not be a decision that I can be a part of, but I will accept what they decide.
Are you a part of the royal family?
And he very much pauses and stares at the fire.
You don't have to answer that if you don't want to. I was just, if it's common knowledge, I would like to know, but if you don't want to share that information, you don't have
It's
to.
not common knowledge, but at the same time, I feel that there's always too many secrets. And my time away taught me the value of having secrets, but also the problems that having too many secrets can give rise to. And so when the rest of my family was enslaved and my twin brother killed, I made the choice to always answer every question that is posed to me.
I did not mean to intrude. I promise you don't have to answer.
I am Prince Sandrano, the younger twin, and now I suppose technically crown prince to the kingdom of Exe.
Oh my goodness.
Shock
Heavy.
Shock Pikachu face.
You are. Okay.
Not shock Pikachu face.
Shush. I know two of you have met him before.
Yeah.
So what is your goal? Are you trying to retake the throne for your family's name? Avenge your brother's death?
I would love nothing more than to sever the head of the headsman that severed my brother's head.
That was a lot of heads.
Yes. But as I said, that is not my place to decide. I have been gone for many years, almost all of my life.
Where did you go? And
Well,
was it around where?
the story of succession is always a challenging one.
Fair.
And with twins, it is always even worse. So as the one that they decided was younger, I was exiled.
Mhm.
I have spent most of my life elsewhere. And have only recently returned. So
Did your family exile you?
my brother.
So it was through no fault of your own, yet you still feel responsible.
Of course I do. They were my family. And as I said, there obviously must have been poor decisions on the part of my family. Otherwise, this coup never would have occurred. I can't say that. Even the greatest of people have people that hate them. But I must believe that there must have been faults to some level with my family. So I do not move to restore the power to my family. As I said, that's for the people to decide. If the people ask that I take up arms and lead them as rebels in a revolution, then I shall do so. And at the end of that, should they request that I step aside and let someone else be selected to be the leader of our kingdom, if that is the will of the people, then I shall. And if the kingdom is happy to never know my name, and that I should simply protect those that are cast out by this regime, then that is what I shall do.
I would like to check and see if he's telling the truth about this. Like if
Right.
he really doesn't care. Or like if he really would let them.
Vibe check.
I entirely believe him.
Don't even need a vibe check, you just believe him.
Got a 10.
You have no reason to disbelieve him.
Well, I believe that we probably need to sleep on it and discuss it among ourselves, and we could definitely get back to you in the morning and see
Yeah.
what our general thoughts are, because obviously we don't particularly want to be here, but maybe we're here for a reason, so
Yeah.
Well, I'm
We will
still
discuss-
confused as to what we would actually be doing other than just protecting. Is there something else?
Well, I mean, that depends on a lot of things. With the four of you, I would feel comfortable being able to approach everybody else and see what their desires were on fighting back or continuing to exist, or to fleeing the country. With just the three of us, I have not. It's been all we could do to keep everybody safe and simply existing. And with more people coming every week, the group grows larger and it becomes harder for the few of us to keep us hidden.
Yeah.
So there has been no option for me to even propose what else we would like to do other than existing. So I wish I had the answers, but I don't. If you were to say right now, though, lend aid where you can is all any of us can ask. Those that can hunt. Those that can't, gather fruit. Some discuss, some plan, some shave sticks to use for lean-tos, so that when a tent rips, we have another option.
All right.
Sounds
Well,
like everyone just doing their best.
Yes.
Yes.
We will discuss amongst ourselves and kind of give ourselves the night to sleep on it, I guess.
Yeah, I think Ari is right.
Wait,
It's
who
always
are these other two people with you?
That is also a good question.
been.
They're just here. They exist. Maybe. Or do they?
They be ghosts.
They are no, they are not. They're not ghosts. That I can say. Although one of them, every once in a while, I wonder about him. He looks at the one with the 2 swords. This here is Artemius. Don't pat him on one shoulder. Just take my word for it. Please use both if you're going to. And this is Ploris. Him you can pat on one shoulder. He won't take it personally.
Now
I'm
you
gonna
have.
pat him on one shoulder.
You pat Ploris on one shoulder?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Timius. The one that you're not supposed to pat on one shoulder, or the one that you're allowed to?
The one that I'm allowed to.
How do you spell?
Plores. I hope you know how to spell Artemius by now.
I know how to spell Artemius. I think I could spell Artemius in my sleep. Same with Sandrano.
You've only met him once.
Did you all
Yeah,
just-
but I'm pretty sure Artemius talks about him a lot.
Well, yeah.
Check our other stuff to figure out more about Artemius.
I already know such because I follow your other videos. That's why I side-eyed.
So, do you all return to your tents then?
Yeah.
I think this is wise. I think we should get a good night's sleep so that we can, one, check to see if this is all just a dream.
Yeah, that's fair.
But also just good decisions are rarely made when you are tired.
That's true.
Just say.
You all return to your tents. Close your eyes. And eventually, you all drift off to sleep. The smell of chemicals, bleach, hits your nose. And you each hear people and beeping and a total cacophony of noises. And you open your eyes as you are laying on your backs, being wheeled through bright hallways on what you take to be gurneys, and people surrounding you, but talking in a language you don't understand.
I'm gonna just yell like, "What's going on here?"
One of the faces looks at you and says some words that you don't recognize.
Oh dear.
Do I look like an ape or a human at this point?
As you try to lift your head to look at yourself, you realize you are strapped in.
Hey, let me out of here!
They look at each other and say more words that you don't understand it, and you all hear him, and he's speaking the same language you guys have been talking for this whole time, and you all are there in the same hallway, being wheeled down as each other.
Odd.
What's happening?
So we can see each other then.
As you kind of can shift your head and glance, you can see each other.
Okay, so do I see that the others look like themselves, or do they look like...
They do look like themselves, but unlike the last time that you saw them, they're in full white hospital gowns.
Okay, so like... No elves and things like that. No fey touch.
Things.
No tails, no ears, no...
Now I just feel crazy. Do I see any like signs on the walls?
You do. And while you recognize the letters, the words don't make sense to you.
That's it, we've gone crazy.
One sign, it's green with white letters, and you can see the letters EXIT. You have no idea what that means. And then you are turned down a corner and continued wheeling. As you go, a mask is fitted on each of your faces.
Folie à deux. That's the term. Folie à deux. We're all having a shared delusion.
And your eyes close, and the world goes black. And
What was in
that
those mushrooms?
is where we'll end for tonight.